Have you ever stopped to reflect that each meeting, every challenge, and each victory are part of a meticulous plan orchestrated by a superior intelligence? In the complex tapestry of life, even moments of pain and uncertainty carry deep lessons, inviting us to a transformation that goes beyond the visible. This text is an invitation to see reality with new eyes, where faith, hope, and prayer intertwine to reveal the hidden beauty in every moment. Amid the oscillations of existence, it is common to feel lost or overwhelmed by adversity. However, each difficulty can be reinterpreted as a unique opportunity for growth. When we allow our spirituality to manifest itself in the small choices of everyday life, we find that even the simplest episodes carry a meaning that transcends the apparent. Thus, we learn to value the wisdom that emerges from the challenges and to recognize that the unknown may be the first step towards a personal evolution. Get ready to embark on a journey of self-knowledge, where each step, each silence, and each overcoming becomes signs of a greater purpose. By opening your heart to the sacred teachings and paying attention to the subtle signs of the universe, you will realize that the inner transformation is closer than you think. I invite you to dive into this narrative, to discover the magic of the small moments, and to recognize that even in times of trial, there is a constant invitation to live in an extraordinary way. Confidence in the divine plan. God invites us to see beyond apparent difficulties, revealing a carefully designed path that extends through everyday challenges. When we understand that each obstacle brings with it a deep lesson, our confidence becomes a guiding light, capable of illuminating even the darker moments. To embrace this faith means to recognize that even when chaos seems to prevail, there is a greater meaning acting in every detail of our existence. It is allowed to be guided by this purpose not only strengthens our soul, but also inspires us to find beauty in everyday imperfections as a headlight that leads us towards inner transformation. The practice of prayer in this context reveals itself as a powerful tool for establishing a direct connection with the divine. When dialoguing with God, we find not only comfort, but also clarity to interpret the small signs that tell us that we are walking a path of spiritual evolution. Each prayer thus becomes a gesture of delivery and confidence. Moments of doubt and uncertainty can, at first glance, look at insurmountable barriers, however. In looking at them with faith, they become opportunities to exercise patience and reaffirm our belief into a higher plane. This confidence is reflected in the ability to see, even in setbacks, the divine touch that gently reorients our steps. Thus, living with conviction is more than mere acceptance of what we cannot control. It is a daily act to surrender to the flow of the universe, trusting that every detail, every lesson, and each experience are essential parts of a great narrative. This conscious surrender allows us to advance with serenity and determination, certain that God's way is full of transformative meanings and surprises. Accept suffering as part of the process. Suffering, though painful, can be seen as a silent master who teaches and strengthens. Every tear and every moment of anguish brings with it an invitation to self-knowledge and spiritual evolution. When we embrace these experiences, we turn pain into a step into a journey of inner growth. Accepting suffering does not mean resigning yourself to pain, but recognizing that each challenge contains in itself a seed of learning. It is in the heat of difficult times that our resilience is put to the test, and with the help of prayer, we can find a refuge that allows us to reevaluate and grow. The painful experience, when seen in the light of self-knowledge, reveals profound nuances about our own essence. Through a sincere faith, we learn to look at suffering as an integral part of life. Instead of trying to escape or deny pain, we can find meaning in adversity, understanding that each difficulty can serve as catalyst for transformation. This perspective teaches us how to cultivate patience and persistence, fundamental elements to rebuild confidence in better days. In experiencing suffering with openness, we are invited to reflect on the lessons it brings us. Each challenge becomes an intimate dialogue with the divine, where prayer offers a safe space to express our doubts and seek comfort. This connection transforms the pain experience into a process of renewal and resignification, preparing the terrain for deep internal change. Ultimately, to recognize and accept suffering as part of the process is to embrace the complexity of existence. Each moment of pain carries a teaching that, if well understood, can boost our spiritual development. Thus, suffering is no longer a burden and becomes an ally in building a fuller life, where each challenge is seen as a unique opportunity for personal improvement and the connection with the divine. Faith and hope in difficult times. When the days seem darker, faith turns into the compass that guides us to light. In the midst of uncertainties, cultivating hope allows us to see beyond the present, realizing that each difficulty is an opportunity to rekindle the inner flame and reaffirm our connection with the divine. Faith is not just a feeling, but a daily commitment to personal transformation. In times of trial, it manifests itself through small attitudes, such as meditation, reflection, and sincere dialogue with God. These everyday gestures renew hope and remind us that, even in the face of the greatest challenges, there is always a new chance to start over. Hope flourishes when we learn to recognize the signs of change that hide in the details of life. Whether in the heat of a hug, in the comfort of a friendly word, or the comforting silence of prayer, these subtle moments strengthen us and renew the belief that better days are to come. In difficult times, it is common for doubt to infiltrate our hearts, but it is precisely in this scenario that the practice of faith becomes indispensable. By turning anguish into prayer and uncertainty into reflection, we take steady steps towards a future where hope not only persists, but flourish in the midst of adversity. Therefore, facing the challenges with faith and hope is to recognize that every moment, even the most arduous, keeps a precious teaching. This attitude drives us to see beauty in the restart and to value each little victory, transforming the journey into a continuous process of growth and spiritual renewal. The purpose of each experience, each moment lived, whether of joy or pain, carries a special meaning that contributes to the construction of our journey. Nothing happens by chance. Each experience, even the most challenging, is part of a larger mosaic, carefully elaborated to teach and transform us. By paying attention to everyday details, we have learned to see the subtle messages that life offers us. An unexpected encounter, revealing conversation, or even deep silence can be signs that we are being guided to a new level of understanding and maturity. This perception helps us to find purpose in each experience. Faith allows us to interpret these experiences in a transformative light, revealing that the ups and downs are fundamental pieces for our inner growth. By integrating the teachings that each situation offers, we began to value moments of difficulty as opportunities for learning and spiritual evolution. Reflection on the purpose of each experience leads us to a broader understanding of our existence. When we accept that everything, from small details to the great twists of life, has a meaning, we are motivated to live more intensely in gratitude, recognizing the beauty that resides in imperfection. Ultimately, perceiving the purpose behind each situation encourages us to transform challenges into opportunities and to celebrate the moments of triumph with humility. This consciousness strengthens our connection with the divine, revealing that even in periods of uncertainty, there is a path outlined for our evolution and personal fulfillment. Inspiring biblical examples. Hosea's story illustrates strikingly how adversity can be transformed into an opportunity for overcoming and learning. Even in the face of betrayals and moments of extreme loneliness, Joseph kept his faith intact and believed that each trial was part of a larger plan. His trajectory inspires us to see obstacles not as end, but as ways that lead him to a future full of achievements and redemption. Job's account is a powerful testimony of resilience and confidence in the midst of intense suffering. Despite losing everything that was precious to him, Job has shown that true faith remains firm even when everything seems to fall apart. Its story invites us to reflect on the value of patience and the importance of maintaining dialogue with the divine, recognizing that each tear can, at the right time, water the soil from transformation. Moses, chosen to lead and release his people, exemplifies how challenges can be the engine of change and spiritual evolution. From his first steps, Moses faced situations that tested his courage and faith, learning to trust the signs of the divine even in the most critical moments. His leadership, guided by prayer and delivery, shows that true transformation occurs when giving up control and allows to be guided by a higher purpose. These biblical characters, with their journeys full of challenges and overcoming, reveal that suffering can be redirected to boost personal transformation. In analyzing the lessons of Joseph, Job, and Moses, we realize that each obstacle faced was essential for building a stronger and resilient character, capable of inspiring generations. Their stories are alive reminders that even in darkness, there's a glow of hope that guides us towards a larger destination. As we absorb these examples, we are invited to turn our own difficulties into steps to inner growth. Each biblical narrative reinforces that faith and hope can transform moments of trial into enriching and transforming experiences. Thus, the trajectory of each of these characters encourages us to seek, amid adversity, the certainty that there is a divine plan shaping our path with love, patience, and wisdom. The importance of patience. Patience is not just the art of waiting, but the ability to find serenity and learning in every pause of life. She teaches us to value time as an ally in building a journey full of meaning. In the midst of uncertainties, the practice of patience reveals itself as a powerful instrument that softens anguish and prepares the terrain for the inner transformation. Developing patience is to cultivate the wisdom of understanding that each step has its unique time. By recognizing that spiritual growth gradually happens, we learn to respect the natural rhythm of life. This posture allows us to deal with adversity without haste, seeing in them opportunities to improve our character and strengthen our faith. Patience manifests itself both in times of silence and active waiting for change. Each wait, as challenging as it may be, can be transformed into a period of reflection and self-knowledge. It is in this space that prayer and meditation become essential allies, helping us to find the balance necessary to face the challenges calmly and determined. By allowing God's time to reveal itself, We learn to trust that every detail fits perfectly into a larger plan. Patience, combined with faith, teaches us that moments of uncertainty are only prelude to great transformations. In this way, challenges become opportunities to develop resilience and to recognize the beauty of a path that unfolds organically. Finally, the practice of patience encourages us to embrace the present with gratitude, without the anxiety of controlling the future. Every second lived with serenity strengthens our connection with the divine and reaffirms that the process of evolution is continuous and sacred. Thus, cultivating patience becomes an act of self-esteem and confidence in the perfect time for the realization of our dreams and our spiritual transformation. Transformation through challenges. Each challenge that life presents us is a unique opportunity for renewal and self-discovery. When we face obstacles with courage and determination, we allow difficulties to become true instruments of personal transformation. This change happens subtly but impactful, revealing new horizons and arousing an inner force that we often unaware of. Moments of adversity have the power to shape us and teach us lessons that could otherwise go unnoticed. It is through the confrontation of storms that we learn to value the sun after rain. Each challenging situation drives us to reevaluate our beliefs, strengthening our faith and preparing us to embrace new possibilities with optimism and resilience. Personal transformation is a continuous process that develops from intimate dialogue with our own weaknesses. By recognizing and accepting our limitations, we make room for evolution, allowing challenges to act as catalysts for deeper growth. This internal metamorphosis reflects not only on our spirituality, but also in the way we relate to the world around us. Facing difficulties with a learning stance invites us to turn pain into fuel for overcoming. In each fall, there is a reef seed, and each overdue obstacle becomes a step towards a more mature and conscious version of ourselves. This journey of transformation is marked by the persistence and courage to move on, even when the path is arduous. Thus, true transformation through challenges reveals itself in the ability to convert negative experiences into life lessons that inspire us to be better. By turning moments of uncertainty into growth opportunities, we created a personal narrative full of meaning and purpose. This journey, driven by faith and determination, leads us to a fuller existence and aligned with our greatest destiny. Set aside the control, recognizing that we cannot master every aspect of our existence is a fundamental step in achieving inner peace. By abandoning the illusion of control, we make room for life to reveal itself with its spontaneous beauty. This conscious surrender teaches us to trust the natural flow of the universe and realize that each event has a unique role in our trajectory. By releasing the reins, we allow intuition and faith to lead our choices, making us more receptive to the opportunities that arise unexpectedly. This gesture of surrender is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom, as it recognizes that there are greater forces acting in our favor. The practice of delivery invites us to live the present lighter and to value every detail that makes up the great plan of life. Through prayer and meditation, we learn to set aside the concerns that arise from the desire to control everything. This change of perspective allows us to focus on what really matters and cultivating a more intimate relationship with the divine. When we free from the weight of trying to manage each situation, we find that full confidence in Providence transforms challenges into enriching lessons. Renunciation to control invites us to embrace uncertainty with courage and serenity. Every moment of surrender is an opportunity to develop resilience and strengthen the connection with our inner self. Thus, by relying on the natural unfolding of events, we are able to find peace and inspiration, transforming delivery into a true act of faith and self-knowledge. Value of small details. Each seemingly simple gesture, every unexpected smile or incentive word reveals the subtlety of greater care. These little times, often unnoticed, make up the essence of an existence full of meaning and purpose. They remind us that the true transformation takes place in the sum of details that together build our story. To observe and value the small details is to learn to recognize the presence of the divine in everyday life. Whether in the breeze that refreshes the face on a hot or calm day of a silent dusk, every moment brings with it a sign that invites us to slow down and appreciate the present. This attention to the thorough aspects of life brings us closer to the true essence of being. When we stop to notice the details, we make room for a new way of seeing the world. Each small event can be interpreted as a teaching that strengthens our faith and drives us to live more gratitude. This practice of looking carefully not only transforming our perception, but also inspires us to value the small daily achievements. Prayer and meditation act as tools that help us capture these subtle signs. By reserving moments for reflection, we allow the beauty of the small details to prove, enriching our spiritual journey. This intimate connection with the present transforms the ordinary into extraordinary, giving new meaning every day. Finally, learning to value the small details is to recognize that the grandeur of life is in the little things. Each gesture, however small, becomes a reminder of the infinite creativity and care that govern our existence. This perception strengthens us, encouraging us to live more lightly, gratitude, and a constant search for meaning in every detail. The power of prayer. Prayer is more than a simple ritual practice. It is an intimate conversation with the divine, which connects us to an inexhaustible source of love and wisdom. By dedicating a moment to raise our thoughts, we make room for peace and hope to invade our being, transforming pain into renewal energy. Each prayer is configured as an act of surrender and faith, allowing our yearnings to align with a greater purpose. In this silent dialogue, we find answers that do not come in words, but reveal themselves through the serenity and clarity of spirit that settle in our hearts. Regular prayer practice teaches us the importance of listening attentive, both for what we want to express and for the subtle messages that the universe offers us. It invites us to reflect, meditate, and recognize that even in adversity, there is a superior force guiding our steps. When we incorporate prayer into our routine, we turn every moment of anguish into an opportunity to renew our trust and re-signify our experiences. This continuous connection with the divine strengthens our faith, allowing us to face the challenges with a more serene and hopeful look. Finally, the power of prayer lies in its ability to transform the ordinary into extraordinary, to convert silence into a melody of hope and overcoming. As we surrender to this practice, we open the doors to a journey of self-knowledge and spiritual evolution, where every whispered word becomes a step towards a fuller and more enlightened life. In reflecting on each stage of this journey, we realize that life is a series of interconnected moments where each challenge, each victory, and even each silence carry deep meanings. It is not just about facing adversities, but of recognizing that each experience, from unexpected meetings to intense trials, is part of a great plan of personal and spiritual transformation. This script invites us to see beyond the superficial and to embrace a perspective that integrates faith, hope, and self-knowledge. By relying on the wisdom of details, we learn to value the small gestures that added to us the presence of force majeure acting in our lives. This consciousness allows us to transform pain into learning, uncertainty into resilience, and suffering into opportunities for evolution. Each topic addressed of confidence in the divine, playing to the importance of leaving control through the patience and power of prayer, builds a narrative of renewal. This narrative encourages us to live more gratefully, to recognize that each step, even the seemingly insignificant, contributes to the construction of a fate full of meaning and purpose. True transformation begins when we allow challenges to teach us, when we face difficulties with courage, and when we seem, with sincerity, contact with the divine. By integrating these practices into routine, we pave the way for a fuller life, where faith and hope become not only words, but experiences lived with each new dawn. Finally, this script is an invitation to action. May we, from now on, apply these teachings to our lives, transforming each obstacle into a step towards personal and spiritual fulfillment. May the message transmitted here inspire you to seek the truth daily in the small details and allow yourself to be guided by a larger plan. After all, you are being prepared for something extraordinary, and this preparation begins with the courage to transform your reality. Reserve a moment today to reflect on the challenges you have faced and the teachings that can be extracted from them. Share this message with those you love and allow the light of faith and hope to illuminate the path of all who seek a full and meaningful life.